Donald Trump caught some fierce backlash over the weekend because of another Twitter incident he had. So he tweeted this image. Let's take a look here. It says, "Crooked Hillary makes history." And then it's this little meme. It says, "History made, most corrupt candidate ever." And it's her in front of, a bunch of money. So at first, I got to admit, I didn't catch it. I didn't see what the problem was. I really didn't. I just thought, it says most corrupt candidate ever. And I thought, that's actually kind of true, because she's raised so much money from special interests. It's ridiculous. The Clinton family, over their careers, when you count every way they've taken money, Clinton campaign, regular campaigns, super PAC, so on and so forth, they've raised over $3 billion. So I was like, that's actually kind of true. Look a little closer at that, and you'll see there's a red Star of David there. Okay, for those of you who don't know, the old anti-Semitic trope is that, Jews secretly control the world, and they control all governments around the world, and the money supply, and the banks, and, they're corrupt, and it's their invisible hand that's shaping every major world event, and that's a Star of David, and it says most corrupt candidate ever. So what did Trump do? He pulled it after the backlash, and then he reposted it with a circle. So NBC explains here, this is not the first time Trump has been forced to disavow or distance himself from anti-Semitic or white supremacist connections. In January, Trump retweeted a photo from an apparent neo-Nazi supporters account, which included anti-Semitic imagery and quotes from Nazi propagandist Joseph Goebbels, one of Adolf Hitler's closest aides. Additionally, Trump retweeted from the account at White Genocide TM less than a month later, which is insane. And that was a made-up chart on crime statistics that tried to overinflate black crime and underplay white crime. And he retweeted it because it's like, oh yeah, blacks are the criminals, whites are good guys. I'll retweet this from White Genocide TM. That looks legit. And it was just totally made up numbers, and it was a neo-Nazi account. And then he also famously retweeted this. I think it was BuzzFeed or Gawker or somebody who tried to play a trick on him. They created a Il Duce 2016 account. Il Duce, by the way, is Mussolini's nickname. It says, "It is better to live one day as a lion than 100 years as a sheep." And then it says that's from Donald Trump, and it says hashtag Make America Great Again. Yeah, that was actually a quote from Mussolini, not Donald Trump. And Trump retweeted it proudly. So, look, man, on this particular incident with the star, I got to be honest, I didn't notice it at first that there was the star there. I just thought it was, Hillary's most corrupt candidate ever. And he tweeted that out. So I'm actually going to give him and his team a pass, because I don't think, if Trump saw that there was something in it that was anti-Semitic, I don't think he would have retweeted it. I really don't. Now, that doesn't mean he's not an anti-Semite. There's other reasons to believe he's an anti-Semite. He gave a speech in front of Jewish Americans where every anti-Semitic trope he uses, and it was a wink and a nod. Like, oh, yeah, everybody in this room knows how to negotiate. Am I right? Jews, right? So don't get me wrong. Do I think he's still a bigot? Of course he's a bigot. It's just the most obvious thing in the world. All his policies prove he's a bigot. Ban all Muslims. Latinos and Mexicans are rapists. Build a wall. Kick out 11 million undocumented immigrants. But on this particular meme, I didn't see the star. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt and assume he didn't see the star, which is why I took it down when he was accused of it, and he put up the one with the circle instead, which is totally fine, the one with the circle, and it is kind of true that she's one of the most corrupt candidates ever when you talk about Hillary Clinton. But on the broader point, I think the people who are angry about this are still right. And what I mean by that is, this isn't a one-time thing. He's done it repeatedly. So here you have a guy who repeatedly retweets stuff from white nationalist Twitter accounts. He, quotes of fascists that are attributed to him. He's like, totally, that sounds awesome. Retweets neo-Nazi stuff. And all of it's false. Fake statistics on black crime, so on and so forth. So, anti-Semitic stuff. So, you know why he retweets it? Because he kind of agrees with it. Because he sees, I like that point is a good point, even though it's made up numbers about black crime. So I will retweet that. And look, White Genocide TM tweeted it out. You can only agree so much with a group before it's totally logical and sane to conclude that you have sympathies with that group. At the very least, you have sympathies with those specific points they tweeted at you and you retweeted, okay? So Hillary being super corrupt is a separate issue. It's true that she's super corrupt. There's no doubt about that. No doubt about that whatsoever. But Trump has a history of aligning himself with retweeting, being on the side of white nationalists, neo-Confederates, neo-Nazis, so on and so forth. And yes, he is deeply bigoted. Yes, he is anti-Semitic. Yes, he is all these things. Even though I do believe that in this particular instance, I don't think he noticed the star, and I don't think he would have retweeted it up front if he knew, oh, this actually has anti-Semitic underpinnings. So it's a little bit more complex of a situation than people are leading on. And we're also overlooking the fact that indeed Hillary is super corrupt. Nobody's talking about that in the context of this conversation, and they should. So it's a little bit more of a messy and complex conversation. But overall, yeah, he is those things, and his repeated mistakes on that front prove it.